What's up, y'all? Back at it once again. This is Koski of Fun Day. And we're going to look at something real serious right now. All the stuff I drop is serious, Before I get into this, I thank my ancestors, for giving me the fortitude to go here, and, you know what I'm saying, and know how and stuff like that to go here with this. This is from an old school book called We Charge Genocide, The Crimes of the Government Against the Negro People. This is written by William L. Patterson. I'm not going to go through all the whole entire book or nothing like that. I'm just going to go through little bits and pieces, parts of it. Just a little something. With the preface by Odessa Davis. Odessa Davis, he'd been dead. He'd been passed away for a while. He was an actor. He was in a lot of old movies and stuff like that. But the reason why I chose is just something that's moved my way. That, things ain't nothing really changed because people trying to say this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, nothing really done changed, Now, William L. Patterson, he brought this on up, and it got rejected at the board at the end of, it got rejected for coming up at a UN meeting. But it's the petition he wrote, and it got up to the UN, and it was rejected by the NAACP. The NAACP had a seat on the UN board, and they rejected this shit so it won't be heard, doing their job of blocking stuff and keeping our struggle from going international. So many people don't know about this. I got proof on that about the NAACP blocking and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in later videos and stuff. How they had a board on the NAACP, had a board on had a seat at the UN and whoop-de-whoop. Also, you want to look into more into that, you can look into Ralph Bunche. That's a good character to look down into to find out more about the situation we're talking about that leads to this. So, let's get into this. Let's get into this stuff. As stated before, we charge genocide, the historic petition to the United Nations for relief from a crime of the United States government against the Negro people. This is the kind of stuff we was on back then. We knew what it was. It wasn't none of this stuff we got going on now. We knew what the fuck it was. It was just, it was in your face. It was blatant, and that's the kind of thing that we lost. We still know what it is. We want to play pity pat with it, though. All right. Now we're going to get into the gist of it. Article 2. Article 2, Conventions on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. Adopted December 9th, 1948. In the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, as such as A, killing members of the group, B, causing seriously bodily or mental harm to members of the group, C, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in the whole or in part, D, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, E, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Article C, the following acts shall be punishable. A, genocide. B, conspiracy to commit genocide. C, direct and public enticement to commit genocide. D, an attempt to commit genocide. E, complicity in genocide. So, you got to remember all these facts. As we went through them up here, in the present convention, the killing of the members, does that still happen in the United States? Does that still happen to African people worldwide? What about B, causing seriously bodily or mental harm to members of the group? Does that happen in the United States? Does that happen to Africans worldwide? C, deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of a life calculated to bring about physical destruction in the whole or in the part. Does that happen to the United States to Black African people? Does it happen to Africans worldwide? D, imposing measures intended to prevent the births within the group. Does it happen to African people in the United States? Does it happen to African people worldwide? All these, in E, the last one, forcibly transfer children of a group to another group. We know the adoption rate is bad. That's happened to African people in the United States. It's happened to African people worldwide. The answer is yes to all these. Killing of the members of the group. We got the police Black Lives Matter thing. Causing seriously or bodily mentally harm to members. Yeah, That's a mental effect. Mental illness is real high and rampant in the Black community. I don't care where you go. Deliberately inflicting on a group conditions of life calculated to bring apart its physical destruction in a whole or in a part. Man, hell yeah. These stuff that stuff is in and stuff, these projects and stuff, and the bad water and all them type of things like that, yes. Bad schools, yes. You causing destruction. You know, to prevent births and within the group, Planned Parenthood, things of that nature. And forcibly transferring children to another group. Look at what happened to Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? So, and these acts shall be punishable by genocide. The following acts shall be punishable: genocide, conspiracy to commit genocide, direct and public enticement to commit genocide, attempt to commit genocide, and complicit in genocide. Let's see what's going to happen next. Out of the inhumane Black ghettos of American cities, out of the cotton plantation of the South, come the records of mass slayings of the basis of race, of lives deliberately warped to distortion by a willful creation of conditions made for premature death, poverty, and disease. It is a record that calls Allah for condemnation for the end of these terrible injustices that constitute a daily and ever-increasing violation of the United Nations Convention on Prevention and Punishment of the Crimes of Genocide. It is sometimes incorrectly thought that genocide means the complete or definite destruction of a race of people. The Genocide Convention, however, adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations on December 9th, 1948, defines genocide as any killings of the basis of race, or in specific words, killings of a member of a group and intend to destroy in whole or in part a national, racial, ethnic, or religious group is genocide, according to the convention. Thus, the convention states causing serious bodily harm or mental harm to a member of the group is genocide, as well as the killing of members of the group. We maintain, therefore, that the oppressed Negro citizens of the United States, segregated, discriminated against, and long target of violence, suffers from genocide as a result of consistent, conscious, unified policy of every branch of government. The Civil Rights Congress has prepared and submits its petition in the General Assembly of the United Nations on behalf of the Negro people in the interest of peace and democracy, charging the government of the United States of America with the violation of the Charter of the United Nations and the Convention of Prevention and Punishment of the Crimes of Genocide. We got to look more, on a side note, we got to look more in this group right here, the Civil Rights Congress. If somebody knows something about them, drop a line, say what's up. Got to look more into that. We believe that issuing the document, we are discharging an historical responsibility to the American people, as well as rendering a service of an immeasurable value to the progressive mankind. We speak of the American people because millions of white Americans in the ranks of labor and the middle class, and particularly those that live in the southern states, are often conservatively called poor whites, are themselves suffering to an ever greater degree from the consequences of Jim Crow segregation policy of the government in its relation with Negro citizens. We speak of progressive mankind because of a policy of discrimination at home must inevitably create racial accommodation or exports abroad and must inevitably lead towards a war. If we have not dealt with it here, the cruel and humane policy of this government towards the people of Puerto Rico, who always had a connection with the people of Puerto Rico, they're Africans too, impoverished and reduced to a semi-literate state through the wanton exploitation and oppression by gigantic American concerns through the fearless frame-up and imprisonment of hundreds of his sons and daughters. This colony of the rulers of the United States revealed in its stark nakedness moral bankruptcy of this government and those who control its home and foreign policies. History has shown that a racist theory of the United States, of the government of the USA, is not a private affair of Americans, but concerns mankind everywhere. It is our hope that we firmly believe that this was the hope and the aspiration of every Black American whose voice was silenced forever through the premature death at the hand of racist minded hooligans or Klan terrorists, and that the truth be recorded here and made known to the world, that they may speak with the tongue of fire, loosing this unquenchable and moral crusade and universal response will sound the death knell of all racist theories. We have scrupulously kept the preview of the Convention of Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, which is held to embrace the acts in which to intent the whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. We particularly pray for the most careful reading about this material by those who have regarded genocide as a term to only be used where acts of terrorists intervene and intend to destroy a whole nation. Remember, on this sidebar right here, we're still thinking as a nation back here in this time too. You know, we're a nation. We're a nation inside of a nation. We never, we lost that concept after the death of our leaders. You know what I'm saying? But we're a nation inside of a nation. We should never lose that concept. You know what I'm saying? Never ever lose that concept. Think as a nation. You got these young cats, these cats out here in general thinking as individuals, that's gonna happen to them, or that's gonna, whatever. It don't happen like that. We further submit to this Constitutional Convention on Genocide is by virtue to an avowed acceptance of the Covenant of the United Nations and a separate part of the law of the United States of America, and a separable part of the law of the United States of America. According to international law and according to our own law, the Genocide Convention, as well as provisions of the United Nations Charter, supersedes, negates, and replaces all discriminatory racist law on the book of the United States in several states. So they're saying that the United Nations should have more sovereignty over the United States. Well, I ain't gonna get into that. If you agree with that, then I don't know what to tell you. The Hitler crimes of awful magnitude began as they did with the heroic Jewish people finally drenched in the world in blood and left a record on maimed and tortured bodies, devastated areas such as mankind never seen before. Justice Robert H. Jackson now sits upon the Supreme Court bench, described this Holocaust to the world as a powerful language which he opened in the Nuremberg trial of the Nazi leaders. Every word he was against the monstrosity Nazi breathed applies with equal weight. We believe those who are guilty of the crimes are set forth. We present a documented crimes of federal, state, and municipal governments in the United States of America, the dominant nation in the United Nations, against 15 million of its own nationals, the Negro peoples of the United States. These crimes are the gravest concern to mankind. The General Assembly of the United States, by reason of the United States UN Charter and the Genocide Convention itself, is invested with power to receive this indictment and act upon it. The proof of this fact is the action upon similar complaint of the governments in India against South Africa. Now that's the key right there. The proof of this fact of action has a similar complaint of the government in India against South Africa. Now, why did the government in India bring that up? Because they was holding the seat for the NAACP. You understand me? And they got the NAACP seat forced India to, they kind of made bargain with India to make that stuff happen against South Africa. That's what the NAACP was doing behind the doors. You know what I'm saying? They was jumping on South Africa like that. A person got a good video on this, just so y'all can understand this. Who got a good video? I can see her face right now. She was on Hidden Colors. Dr. Rack. I'm going to post it with the video. Never mind. We call upon the United Nations to act, and we call upon the government of the United States to account. We believe that the test of the basic goals of foreign policy and its inherent matter in which the government treats its own nationals and is not to be founded in the lofty platitudes that preserve so many treaties and constitutions. The essence lies in form, but rather in substance. The Civil Rights Conference is a defender of constitutional liberties, human rights, and peace. It is an implacable enemy of every creed, philosophy, social system, or way of life that denies democratic rights or one iota of human dignity in human beings because of color, creed, nationality, or political belief. We ask all men and women of goodwill to unite and realize the object set forth in a summary and pray to continue this petition. We believe that this program can go far in ending the threat of the Third World War. We believe it contributes to the establishment of a people democracy on a universal scale. But we may add as a final note that the Negro people desire equality of opportunity in this land, where their contributions to economic, political, and social development has in splendid proportions and inequality second to none. They will accept nothing less and continue efforts to force them in the category of second-class citizens through force and violence, through segregation, racist law, and institutionalized oppression, to only end a disaster for those responsible. Respectfully submitted by the Civil Rights Congress as a service to the people of the world, and particularly the lovers of peace and democracy in the United States of America. William L. Patterson, National Executive Secretary, Civil Rights Conference. So this is how they wrote it down. On the other side, they got people that came on through with it. There's a couple big hitters on here that we know also signed off on this. Major thing. Claudia Jones, I get much love to Big Claudia. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Who else on here? William Harrison, Henry Haywood, Harry Haywood, the Black Bolshevik, a couple other people signed up. Carlotta Bass, leader of the UNIA in California, so had a lot of people that signed off on that. Big Carlotta, shout out to Big Her, had the California Eagle newspaper. Let's see who else on here. Heard of him before, Wendell Phillips. A couple of big cat, Benjamin Davis, Tuskegee Airmen. So Angie Dickerson, W. Du Bois. So there's some big hitters on here that signed off on this. But as I was saying before, I'm gonna post a video with it that the proof of this fact was an actually similar complaint of the government of India against South Africa. I can't think of the woman's name right now, but you know what I'm saying? But she was on Hidden Colors, and she the one that had a video about this. You know what I'm saying? About how that's how the NAACP pressured. They had this pressure to do a special counsel seat on the UN and got the government of India to go talk against them. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to get it. The British were trying not to stop it because how they said, well, India, if you do this, someone from Pakistan can come out and talk against y'all. NAACP had to navigate around that. So they talking about against apartheid in South Africa. But when it came against apartheid here in the United States, and this petition I just read, part of the petition, the NAACP blocked that. You know what I'm saying? They knocked it out the box. They blocked it and said, no, we're not letting this come up to the right. They can easily say yes to do it for the people. They just tell you something about their group. Anyway, this is a Coast Gift Monday. Much love. This kind of made me sick. I can't think of the woman's name, but you know what I'm saying? Much love. That's how we do it, though. And just also back up in here about the genocide thing. Just went in on that note before I go. Just read the introduction. Just went in on that note. You know what I'm saying? These are the final acts of genocide with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, such as killing members of the group. That happens. Causing serious or bodily or mental harm to members of the group. That happens every day. That school system's enough here. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring forth its physical destruction, whole or in part. Are they red line, streamline the neighborhood, putting us in a bad part, where you couldn't get out of that. Still happens today. Still goes on. Segregation didn't really nowhere. Imposing measures to attend to prevent births within the group all day. Planned Parenthood, all that stuff. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Hell, CPS does it a lot. I've seen on many, many Facebook sites and other different sites and stuff like that, of black women getting their children taken just like that. Why even get to keep theirs? They act a fool. Hell, the child support shit. Causing broken families. It's all plan of a genocidal plot, and this is in the terms of it. Do we have a case? I think we do. Anyway, this is a Coast Gift Fun Day. Y'all have a good one. Peace.